Marriage was created to be a reflection of Christ in the church. That's what it's all about. And marriage in and of itself is a gospel issue. So it shows how Christ loved the church and how the church loves Christ. So when you destroy the image of a marriage, which, when you're destroying a man, you are destroying that part of that image. You are destroying the image of God. And that is what he has chosen to be his reflection here on earth. So the masculine is God's image. He's the groom in this story. So when you're destroying the masculine image, you're destroying the image of God. Same thing with fathers. It's the same thing there. What do we call God? We call him a father.
Yeah.
And we are his children. So, for example, I was talking to a friend of mine one day, and I said, I was reflecting upon the fact that I had such a wonderful father, and how it was great that I did, and what a great relationship I have with him. And I was talking all about how God, it's like God is this such a wonderful, loving, being to us. And I said, it's like we can crawl up in his lap just like you did when you were a little girl. And she looked me in the face, and this is a Christian woman that I know, and she looked me in the face. She said, I have no idea what you're talking about. She goes, my father abandoned me when I was a little girl.
Oh, wow.
And I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
When you tell me that God is like a father, that, what my father did to me, I don't want to hear that God's a father.
Right.
So when we destroy that image of fatherhood, we're destroying the gospel. We're destroying that image to other people. And we live in a world now where that is almost the norm. I don't know if it's a majority, but it's at least half the people are dealing in a situation where their parents are not together, and they don't know what it's like to grow up with a father in their house. Their father's off living with their new wife wherever they're at, and they might see him once a month, or if they're lucky, they'll see him once a week if they're a really good dad that's trying really hard. But it's difficult to do that, so they're not in the home all the time. So they may be sitting with a stepdad who they don't trust, or they don't know, or maybe they've abused them, or whatever the case may be. But it's not their father, and so they're confused by that. Before modern times, everybody could understand a father, a loving father, and what that means.
Yeah.
Everybody can understand what it means to have a husband, and to look at a husband and go, oh yes, this is a role of a husband. Well, now we've destroyed that, and by destroying that, we are destroying God's chosen image of what he calls himself.